What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Flash video. So if you're new to the channel, a like and a subscribe is super appreciated here. So the Flash, this was pretty much a filler episode, I'm afraid. This and the latest episode of Legends of Tomorrow really was proper filler, but we did get a look at a really cool villain in the guise of the Katie Sackhoff played Aminette Black, aka the Blacksmith. So this really was the bachelorette party, stag do thing here in this episode. And this was a sort of a mini Arrow crossover, which was pretty cool. I liked seeing Felicity turn up, and I loved her at the start pointing out that the security at Star Labs really is bad. It really does leave a lot to be desired, which is a complete and utter shame. But it is really funny that people keep mentioning that. Breacher last week mentioned that this had really bad kind of security here at Star Labs, and she just literally just walked in, which was really funny. And I think that Felicity is at her best when she is over on the Flash, because she can really, you know, be herself, be her kind of geeky tech self, and it doesn't really affect anything. And it's a real shame that we never got to see her kind of properly working on tech here, part of a mission with Team Flash, where she was just with the women in this episode, which they did save the day here. And, well, cringe. They mentioned feminism a stupid amount of times in this episode, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I have got no problem with women taking charge in an episode. I absolutely don't mind. I think these Team Women, kind of the females of all of these shows, are just as strong as the men, just as kind of interesting, as three-dimensional as the male characters here on the show. But when you have Cecile's daughter sit there and go, oh, I wasn't really a Doctor Who fan until they, you know, mentioned it's actually a woman. Yeah, right. There's been no female episodes of Doctor Who, so she literally only wants to watch Doctor Who because it is a female. Now, on this channel, I have defended that decision until I've been blue in the face. And here, they just completely and utterly make it simply the fears that these huge man babies have had about it's mer Doctor Who. You're taking away Doctor Who, and now here they go, oh yeah, it's a woman. Yeah, that's all I care about. Hashtag feminism. What the hell? Just non-stop mentions of this feminism. You can hang out as females without having to mention feminism. How is them hanging out with each other being feminism? And also Felicity kind of objectifying men there, going against your kind of equal rights thing, albeit good old elongated man took them to a strip joint, which, yeah, of course he would, because he is an absolute creep. And I love the fact that he is the #1 customer, and he's got his kind of smiling, beaming face on the wall, which was absolute. I could not stop laughing when I saw that. It was absolutely just a great part of this character. And Ralph Dimney, once again, stealing the show from everyone else. And I really am loving the elongated man. Now, there's one thing which I'll get to later on about why hasn't he been caught by a certain man with a chair. The lion's share of this episode is really a Killer Frost storyline. And again, this being a Killer Frost storyline, I do actually really like that. I really do like Killer Frost. I really do like Caitlin Snow. I think both those characters are really good, and seeing her getting involved with Aminette Black is a really cool storyline, a nice way to time this in between. And Katie Sackhoff being Aminette Black was absolutely stunning, except for that really bad English accent. That was a bad accent. I'm sorry. At times it was good, but at times, more so, it was pretty terrible. And over on Legends of Tomorrow, we had, you know, a really bunch terrible English accents. Don't bother trying. Simply just cast someone who's English. Albeit we wouldn't have Katie Sackhoff playing that role, so swings and roundabouts. But having her here in this was nice. She is a fantastic character in the comic books, and was around the same time that the Thinker tried to take over the city as well in the comics. So they kind of worked together, and the Thinker drew a blind eye to the machinations of Amunet Black and her new rogues. So he kind of allowed her to do what she did because it worked out with his schemes, which possibly here is working out with his schemes as well. So maybe he allowed her to keep the Weeper, who is actually a comic book storyline character, which doesn't really have much resemblance to this Weeper in this episode. And once again, that character ties into the Thinker's plans because he was on the bus as well. So he was on the bus, one of the dudes in the kind of, when we saw Hazard get on the bus, we saw a huge bunch of people. She was one of them. Now, the problem is, at the end of the episode, we actually see the Thinker in his kind of huge chair, looking like Metron, flying around, kind of really destroying people, or kind of attacking people. But, well, why is he not going after the Elongated Man? He knows the Elongated Man is working with Barry. Why is he not going after him? Maybe because he didn't actually create the Elongated Man, and maybe the Elongated Man was not actually on the bus. Perhaps he got on the bus, but he was not on the stop at that point, and the Gingold drinks in his desk, they were in his desk last week, that's what created him. Just a crazy wild theory there for me. It's kind of weird that we didn't see the Thinker go after good old Elongated Man. But let me know what you think. Do you think that is a bit of a wild theory there? Do you think that's weird? But this was a really good episode, a really good kind of Killer Frost episode, but again marred by really on-the-nose feminism. I think the only phrase I can think of is on the nose. It's kind of not just blatant, but it's kind of gratuitous, and it's just a real shame that it was marred by that, and kind of draws away from this kind of meeting of kind of Central City badasses like we've got on Supergirl. And they didn't have to do, like, mention feminism every 5 seconds. And we had Cecile's daughter as a stripper trying to be kind of the male gaze and all this. It's like, oh my god, just stop. You don't need to do this whatsoever. But it's curious to see moving forward with Killer Frost. Can't help but think this is going to be the start of her leaving the show for good, or maybe dying. I don't know. We got that feeling when we were watching it here at Superheronexus. We got the feeling that maybe that might be it, or just it felt a bit odd. But I do like the fact that she's controlling her powers just like the Incredible Hulk. So I'm hoping that we actually see a point where she can control her powers and actually join Team Flash as a meta. But then, you know, just like every Team Flash member who is a meta, they leave. So Wally, Jesse Quick, Cisco, well, he's Vibe Cisco, so he kind of stays around because he is really the nucleus of the tech part of the team, to be honest. But it was a fun episode regardless of the kind of downsides that I mentioned. Killer Frost, really, really just stunning work again by the actress who plays her. Just really, really fun, and I really do like the fact that Killer Frost kind of took over when poor old Caitlin thought that she had a chance of having a cure. And I hope this isn't the end we see of Amunet Black. I can't help but think that maybe Killer Frost could have frozen her to the ground and then got her arrested, considering the fact that Cecile mentioned that the police were trying to tie her to this network, which is just like the comics. She had her own kind of black market for metahumans, which again, it looks like she actually has here as well, and she's working on getting all these metas. And it's kind of weird when she mentioned that she has a lot of metas, where she likes naming metas. So how many more does she actually have? And well, obviously she got Norvok, which that eye thing was just ugh, it gave me the creeps, the absolute creeps. But I do hope we see more of Amunet Black. I hope she continues to be a recurring villain, but I find it really weird, I find it gratuitous that they just let her go. It was just really, really strange the way they worked that out. But that is it for this video. I'm going to have a Arrow, Gotham, and Black, or kind of crossover video coming up soon, as well as a Black Adam in Suicide Squad 2 video as well. So that is it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.